Come one, come all, stand against the wall. Light upon Islam, a bold defense of the doctrines of the Quran. Now on this one, we're going to put it through the filter as we go through. My studies have already shown that the Moorish manuscripts predate the Torah, predate that Quran that they're speaking about in the East. The pinnacle of wisdom is what the Moorish Empire held, and all the people that was trying to colonize was scooping up all of the knowledge and keeping it within themselves until the keys was loosened by Allah, as Noble Ali put, divinely prepared in the Moorish Quran, which is really all the ancient knowledge with all the BS taken off of it, stripped down to the bare truth that cannot be changed nor pass away. But falsehood loves to stick to it, so we'll put it through the filter. A lucid comparison of the essential points of the religions that have for their foundations the Bible and the Quran, Islam, democracy. And you see democracy there. You know that's mobocracy. You know that's infiltration. M. Mismer could not know the East any better than he does if he had been born there, and we copy from his new volumes, Souvenirs du Monde Musulman, a few novel views and considerations addressed, especially to statesmen and thinkers, the greater portion of the precepts of the Quran having a meaning which escapes us, because that meaning is that variance with our ideas and our manners, and this is what gives rise to political errors on incalculable reach. But see, all things are supposed to be in harmony and universal. So if it's not in universal with what you're teaching, one of you are wrong. And if you're teaching truth, you know they're wrong because it's not in harmony. Universal principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, universal profit. The Muslims do not fail to return the attacks that are made upon them, conceding to us the advantage in a material and scientific point of view. They hold that the riches and learning of the few do not make the happiness of the many, and they claim superiority for their moral and social constitution, essentially democratic in its origin. If it's democratic in the origin, it's been infiltrated. Islam has a sumptuary law which puts a tax of 2.5% upon the jewels of women. But we know in Islamism, it's matriarch, so you don't tax the mother, so we know that's infiltration. We'll put it through the filter. The jewels of women and upon all objects of luxury. This money has served for centuries to assist poor tradesmen and to buy them tools. Thanks to the prohibition of wine and spirits, the social problem is solved for them. Exactly. If they would have cut away all this spirits and alcohol, it'd be a lot better place. On seeing the dangers that hover over our civilization, the Muslims compare it to the smoking remains of a burnt tent. They think that if it should not disappear in the flames of anarchy for want of an organic principle, it would be incapable of rising again from its ashes. While their faith maintains order in everything, the condition sine qua non of progress. You accuse us, they say, of being depraved. Are you less so? You who keep up perpetual orgies in your great cities, expose the half-clad wives and daughters at balls and feasts, and allow them to be whirled around in the arms of anybody and everybody. True indeed, is that not the so-called culture that the European is possessing people through these platforms to see every day? You reproach us for our ignorance. In order to pass through life with honor, your instruction is not so good as ours. Thanks to the proverbs and the rules of wisdom that are taught to our children, they conduct themselves like little men. With you, the men and even the learned conduct themselves like little children. You charge our functionaries with venality. Who contributes to its establishment if it is not the vulgar herd of traitors of every class that Europe has scattered all over the East? Now it's all over the West. You cry down your judiciary. We too have a right to accuse yours. You charge us with fatalism. Fatalists we are, just like your learned men and your philosophers who base their calculations upon immutability of natural laws, resigned in the face of plagues, cataclysms, and death. We say it was written. For the rest, we follow the words of the prophet. One day the prophet asked a visitor what he had done with his camel. The visitor replied, I have left him at thy gate. Hast thou tied him? Inquired the prophet. No, I have left him to care of God. Then hast done wrong, said Mohammed. Then shouldest first have tied him and then have recommended him to God. The Christian doctrine of predestination and of grace are more depressing than our fatalism. Your ignorance of Islam makes you confound Muslim slavery with ancient slavery and that which existed until recently in Russia and in Brazil. With the Muslims, there are no slaves. All are brothers, not in the Platonic sense of the Bible, but actually having the same laws and the same positive duties according to the terms of the Quran. That's what I'm talking about, the universal principles. But the Quran that they was using is not necessarily this modern Quran. If you're speaking about before Muhammad, there was Moorish manuscripts before that. The divine constitution, the principles of natural law, whether you want to bring it on down to the Constitution or any constitution, is supposed to be in harmony and universal with nature's law. Unlike Christianity, Islam has never treated as sellable things transmissible with the land. Troops of men who professed the common faith, as was done with the serfs of the Middle Ages, the mujiks of Russia, and the Asiatics of your colonies, prisoners of war are the only slaves that is recognized, but their children are born free, and they themselves can become so by embracing Islam. I mean, in the newspaper, they was speaking of Negro, so they ain't really bringing you back to Islamism, the old time religion where you know your foremothers and forefathers' divine creed, your nationality and all that. But we'll proceed. It is the custom from time immemorial in certain countries for parents to part with their children for money, in order to ward off poverty and open up to themselves a career of fortune. So you're human trafficking. By virtue of Muslim equality, this career is limitless in the East. How many slaves have become pashas, generals, and ministers? Almost all the sultans have been the sons of slaves. The black slaves taken from Central Africa, speaking colorable now, which are the Moors, find in Egypt and in Turkey a fate incomparable, superior to that of the slaves of your colonies. Slavery is for savages the first step towards civilization. If their recruiting and their transportation give rise to well-founded protests, the fault is not with Islam. Neither the Bible nor the Quran is responsible for abuses. I remember reading an article in regards to colonization being used to awaken the people of the land that forgot about their rights. The Muslims proclaim the superiority of their Allah, but they acknowledge Moses as a prophet and Jesus as Ruh Allah, the soul of God. Their veneration for Jesus extends to the mother, the Immaculate Conception. The Immaculate Conception, introduced by Catholicism by Pius VI, has been for 12 centuries a Muslim's belief. A belief. To the extreme simplicity of the dogma must be added the positive enjoyments which the paradise of Mohammed opposes to the Platonic joys of the Christian paradise in order to comprehend the resistance of Islam to all attempts at conversion. Christianity a menace, Islamism a promise, said Napoleon. In his opinion, is worthy of meditation. Now, here we go. The modern Islam, I feel, is a net for all the Asiatics they knew was going to leave Christianity and try to go to Islam. They put out another net to catch you again, because this modern Islam, I watch how they speak publicly on these platforms, and they're speaking of people as colorable, as white and black. They don't have the concept of nationality or birthright, and it shows Noble Drew Ali in regards to the old-time religion Islamism is the pinnacle of wisdom compared to this modern Islam where they speak in colorable terms, white man, black man, Asiatic mother joins. They make them repeat after me. Mohammed is the last and only prophet and messenger. They call her Black Muslimah. Black Muslimah. So I compare the civics in regards to the Moors and Prophet Noble Drew Ali to this modern Islam, and they speak in colorable terms, and they don't respect people with their nationalities. They call them black and white. They even call themselves whites. So they are not the pinnacle of wisdom. They have a modern Islam that was thrown out probably in connection with the Christians to try to catch the Asiatics coming out of the Christianity back into where they thought they was going to Islam, but it's just another net. The old time religion is different. The manuscripts predate the Quran, which was compiled by Ali, not Muhammad. Muhammad passed, and before he passed, he said, Ali, the papers, compile them, and which is really divinely prepared. Noble Drew Ali did it. You can get mad all you want. I've already showed the proof of the dogma that Noble Drew Ali was combating in his Circle 7, the Moorish Quran, showing the differences in regards to Buddha, how all the mothers get in front of these idol statues with the candles and they're rocking back and forth and yelling. Noble Drew Ali has it in the Quran. You know, your essence of your prayer and your good actions and go upon into heaven like the incense. He was showing you the dogma. The Muslims of the East talking about you must cover your gray hairs. You can use black, but you can use certain types of red shading to cover the grays of your beards. Noble Drew Ali put it in the Moorish Quran. Don't cover up them grays. You know, be happy of that. That is wisdom and it's honoring your ancestors. He's showing the dogma that was in all these different ones. He said, yes, we honor all true and divine prophets, but he was going to show the dogma that was within them too. And he showed every single one. I showed it. He said specifically that Joseph was Yehoshua's daddy. He said nothing about a miraculous conception. He had humanity on the mother's womb. And the dogma within the modern Islam, they're holding hands with the Christians in regards to the miraculous conception. It's talking about they stuck their finger in Mother Mary to see if she still had her cherry, so-called. Now, we can get into that. You can get mad all you want, but I got the proof. Noble Drew Ali was combating all of the dogma within all these so-called religions. And Noble Drew Ali had to come along again like his bloodline been trying to do, divinely preparing these manuscripts, and people want to keep adding and magnetizing falsehood and making a thin book to a thick book. Well, now the thick book has became the thin book, and we're able to read the truth. And so we'll go with this, our authority, this one that I have in my hand. The Moorish Holy Temple of Science, deriving its power and authority from the great Quran of Mohammed. Stop. Remember, Mohammed was on his deathbed. Oh Ali, go and prepare the papers because they are not prepared yet in regards to putting truth in written form for your brothers to read. Ali, it is not finished. I need you to go prepare. So Noble Drew Ali, who is the bloodline tying all the way back to Mohammed till now, if the job is not finished, if the duty is not finished, a servant is worthy of his hire. If Allah left you with the responsibility to have this stuff compiled and divinely prepared till it's right, and if it ain't right generation after generation, the job is not done until it's right. Noble Drew Ali specifically said, this is not even for us. Until it was right, the Ali bloodline was the coach, the referee. He was the custodian of saving humanity. And until this stuff was divinely prepared the correct way, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now here, hand to hand, take it and save yourself. It was done. It was finished. The duty was done. To propagate the faith, which Noble Drew Ali has the fruition, we're propagating the faith of what's in this, but we're going to what? Extend the learning and truth of the great prophet of Ali in America. The faith of what Muhammad wanted to do in regards to compiling the information, the Moorish manuscripts. Therefore, it needs to extend the learning and truth of the great prophet of Ali in America. All the Muslims of the East will look you in the eyes and say there's no other prophet or messenger after Muhammad. So you can't go over there and be around these people and act like y'all are brothers, because they're specifically throwing thorn bushes in front of the path of Noble Drew Ali. So all these Moors you see, what they call them Muslims or Muslims, they are not following. They're cutting Noble Drew Ali's path off, because all them brothers from the East, or I repeat, all them Muslims, all them foreign Muslims on those rostrums are claiming that Muhammad is the last prophet and messenger, which is not true. That's why it has to be extended, the learning and the truth of the great prophet Ali. So you can go over there and act like they have the pinnacle of wisdom, but what they've been teaching and reading for all these years, apparently it was not released until Noble Drew Ali brought it. You all enjoyed the eclipse. I'm going to drop this about noon. That's when it's going to hit around here is what they said. So y'all enjoy it, brothers and sisters. Divine honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I repeat, divine honors the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish divine and national movement of the world, Islam. I look in the sun every day, though. But tomorrow, I'll be chin up, million-mile stare, looking right into it, getting all the information I can. I look in the sun every day. Every day. I leave you in peace and love. Islamism. No bow ties, no NOY. Say you Muslim, but you do come commercials with St. Odds. 7 on the necklace, but Allah is the eye. Looking from above with your hand in the pie. Killed Prodigy cause he knew about Ali. Jay-Z sucked the lips off Prince Haji. Slave masters in your hand, dumb bitches calling bands. Hope for value the pictures of people calling you a brand. Slave masters in your hand, dumb bitches calling bands. Hope for value the pictures of people calling you a brand. Hey, that pie's hot. Oh man, you done burnt your whole hand off, bro. El Hatima. Pumas and Adidas, owned by the Jews. Jam Master Jay was dead the moment Run wore the shoes. Nipsey Hussle walking with the blood of Selassie. Had to take him out, he was stepping too flashy. I tell you if you ask me, at Dep Ashkenazi. Spitting out the truth till Cohen smash me. Illest on the flow, troglodyte in Nebraska. Morocco is the empire, Maria smelling gassy. Justice coming knocking, ain't no talking for you traitors. Thunderdomes rocking, feathers flying, respirators. Scimitar serrated, slicing flesh like a laser. A razor to Easter stars, printing stargazers. Maces in the mazes, but I'm bloodline related. Gnosis flowing through the heart like my arteries inflated. Infiltrators torn apart, handed to the waiter. Put the bones in the bag, Cujo will want them later.